watching The 7 from WATE 6 on your side.
Good evening, I'm Bo Williams, and welcome to The 7. Let's get a look at the big 7 stories right now. And first on the list tonight, we're diving deeper into the spike in overdose deaths here in Knox County. District Attorney Sharm Allen, who's been spotlighting the problem for years, is talking about why and what's being done. This goes back to what we told you yesterday, that Knox County had crossed a milestone for suspected overdose deaths. 385 so far in 2021. That's gone up by 1 since Tuesday, when the county surpassed the total for all of 2020. As a matter of fact, it's the most in county history, and remember, there are 2 months left in the year. So county leaders and recovery advocates say COVID-19 is partly to blame, with people feeling isolated or losing their jobs. Potent drugs is another factor. Fentanyl is the main drug causing overdose deaths in the county. Methamphetamine comes in at second. In hopes to reduce the overdose deaths, prosecutors are trying to get the dealers behind bars.
They're looking at all these drug charges coming in and trying to make that determination. Is this someone providing the drugs that we really, really need to get the maximum penalty for? Or is this someone who is caught up in the cycle of addiction who we need to get treatment for?
Now, going after dealers isn't the only approach. Allen says it's a community effort, and that's where groups like Metro Drug Coalition of Knoxville come in. They help with addiction prevention, recovery, and post-recovery. Now, if you or someone you know needs help with addiction, you can find resources on our website. We made it easy to find. Just go to WATE.com. Our next big story comes with a change in the seasons. But before we get to the forecast, we need to mention a road closure. We're talking about Newfound Gap Road, Highway 441 to the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. You see it's highlighted here in purple. That's because it is closed tonight because of the weather, which takes us to meteorologist Ken Weathers over in the Storm Center. So, Ken, we're just 3 days into November. Is wintry weather already here?
For those areas, Bo, not anywhere else across the area. So we're talking about well above about 5,000 feet in the Smokies, probably closer to 6,000 in some spots. Let's take a look. 6 timeline forecast snowfall estimates as we go overnight into tomorrow. And just like Bo said, 441 right through here in the Smokies, showing LeConte, Clingman's Dome close to 2 inches. But I'll say that does not account melted snowfall as well. So probably up to 1 inch in some spots on the grassy areas. But as you see, that's where it's confined, nowhere else. Mainly just going to be a cold night from 31 at LeConte to 41 here in Knoxville. But do you notice the plateau in Kentucky, upper 20s to low 30s? We actually have another freeze warning in effect for the area shaded in purple, meaning temperatures could be below the freezing mark for several hours. The lighter blue, Anderson, Union, those are frost advisories, meaning potential for some scattered frost. But again, with temperatures in the 40s here in Knoxville southward, not expected to see a frost or a freeze. Let's go ahead to Friday morning. So not tomorrow morning, but day after. Much colder, upper 20s to mid 30s. So a slightly better opportunity. Our forecast model showing here the blue areas of frost will be possible Friday morning. The pink, a freeze is possible, but the darker purple, freeze looking almost likely across the area. So again, not tonight, but as we head into Friday morning, a little bit better opportunity. Now, Bo will smile at this. There's a bit of a warming trend in the 7-day forecast, and I'll have that for you coming up in a minute, Bo.
All right. Can't wait to hear it. Ken, thank you. Smiling already. Remember, you can carry our forecast with you as we head into the colder season. Download our free Knoxville weather app. Very easy to do. All right, there's big news for parents today about protecting kids from COVID-19. Vaccines for children aged 5 to 11 will start showing up at health departments across the state as soon as tomorrow. And that's after the CDC approved the Pfizer version of the shot for this younger age group. According to the state, more than 500,000 Tennessee children are now eligible. A Vanderbilt doctor who specializes in diseases affecting children says adding those kids to the list of protected people could really help.
This has the potential to be one of the biggest steps forward for us in getting back to a normal life. We had surges in all the children's hospitals across the state. We led the country in kids that were sick and hospitalized with COVID. And yes, it's uncommon, but it absolutely happens. And those of us who have seen it with our own eyes, there's no question about the seriousness of this.
We're told parents who want to give their child the Pfizer vaccine should head to vaccines.gov to check and see where it is available. Remember, parents, though, the Pfizer version is the only one cleared for people under the age of 18, so be sure to choose Pfizer locations and appointments. Also, check with your local health department, or you can look into private offerings. Walgreens and CVS both announced today that they will start making shots for kids available this weekend, starting Saturday at Walgreens and Sunday for CVS. In this Big 7 story, we are hearing now from the family and friends of a 26-year-old who was shot and killed in Knoxville over the weekend. Knoxville police officers were called to the scene on Catalpa Avenue. They say 26-year-old J. Michael Dossett was shot and killed. His family was shocked by his unexpected death. Dossett was in town last weekend to celebrate his young daughter's birthday. His mother spoke to us about what gun violence did to her family.
I have my good moments because I think of good things and we're sharing good memories, but then I have my moments where I just understand that I will never hear his voice again other than videos that we have. I'll never see him again other than pictures and things that we have.
Now, his mother goes on to say change starts in the home. She wants people to remember that turning to violence impacts countless lives, not just the ones directly involved. Knoxville police say they are actively investigating right now what led to this shooting. They have not yet made any arrests. Our next Big 7 story, a discovery by deputies in Monroe County. The sheriff's office posted these pictures you see behind me here, and you can see 2 rifles and what deputies say is around 7 ounces of meth. Now, we're told deputies found all this at a home on Hollow Lane in Madisonville. Well, they went there yesterday to serve a search warrant. One person is facing charges. We don't know their name, but we are told those charges cover the drugs and guns and are felony charges. Big story coming out of the UT campus today. Law enforcement officers from across the country are coming together for a de-escalation training this week right there at UT. De-escalation has been a serious topic, as a lot of you know, in recent years. With police shootings in the headlines, there's a big desire to find peaceful outcomes. Now, this training includes what's called Integrated Communications Assessment Tactics, or ICAT. It teaches officers to slow down when they go into situations and be prepared to listen and talk with those who are in crisis. It's also about the language these officers use.
We need to stop condensing space and time. As police officers, we tend to want to rush an end to something. What ICAT does is say there are certain situations when people are in mental or situational crisis in which we need to take some extra time.
Studies show that after this training, there's about a 35% reduction in injuries to officers. There is also a reduction in the use of force. Rounding out our Big 7 list for you, a recall alert tonight. It affects food sold at Kroger stores in Tennessee and Kentucky after pieces of plastic were found in an ingredient from a supplier. The FDA is recalling Ukrop's Homestyle Foods Chicken Caesar wrap and lots of different salads that you see listed on your screen. FDA officials say the brown hard plastic that was found in the ingredient could be a choking hazard. Now, salads with the sell-by date of October 24th, 2021 and chicken Caesar wraps with the sell-by date of October 23rd, 2021 are now being taken off the shelves. Those who bought the product should return it to Kroger stores in Tennessee or Kentucky for a full refund.